Hello, welcome back. Today I want to share this elegant looking paper clip, and this is all vellum. And I just love the translucent look, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to show you some alternatives other than just this neutral look. So what you're going to need is vellum, and I have a strip. You need it to be 7 by 2 inches. I'm using this vellum by Graphics. And so your results may change depending on the vellum you're using and the dyes you're going to use. And as I said, dyes, I am using these florals, which are from Dress My Craft. And I think it's a set that they don't carry anymore, but they do carry a lot of floral layers. So any layered florals. And so I pre-die cut them. And I have the leaf. I think I'm going to go with one more layer because in the past I've been using 4 and I think I have 5 now. So you need that. You need your 3-inch paper clip, and I am using eyelets, so you could use the tiny eyelets, the 1/8 inch eyelets, and you need some sort of marker or paint pen to make white lines. That's optional. With this, you can, now I did fishtails right here. I'm putting this here on the colored paper so you can see. And I did the little fishtail here. I'm using this banner punch from Dress My Craft. It takes 1.5 inch, 2 inch, or 2.5 inch wide papers. You don't have to do this because you can hand do this as well. Okay, and you also need an adhesive that works with vellum. I'm using Fabri-Tac. And once you have that, you're going to just angle it a little bit. Instead of folding it straight, you're going to angle it just a little bit. You really need to give that a burnish. Use the flat end of your bone folder. And if you want this to come in off the right side of the paper, put the double loop on the left with a solid bar at the bottom. Thread that through there. Now, you can just use your favorite adhesive for vellum right across here to hold it. Or what I've been doing is doing the eyelets. So I'm going to use the small hole punch. And I'm just eyeballing this. Hello, everyone. My name is Lolly, and I'm really happy to have you here on my channel today. I do have a lot of videos showing altered paper clips, and I also have several videos about how to use eyelets and how to set perfect eyelets. And I will give you all those links under this video. Okay, so what we have, I have a group called Paper Clip Art on Facebook, and we have a monthly theme. This is actually the February theme, which I was very remiss in not getting done in time. Okay, so let's put that over. So now to work on the flower, I'm going to lay this on its side temporarily and bring this over again so that you could see what's happening. And I'm going to just layer these like this so that I get them in the right way. I wanted to have marks on mine, and so I'm using gel, an actual jelly roll marker just to make the veins in these flower petals here. And I don't have to really worry about the very center because we're going to be gluing there and you won't see the center anyway. Now I have tried various gel pens and I have favorite gel pens for different things. I have found that the Jelly Roll brand works really good. Okay, now I laid that on its side to kind of help the glue get down to the bottom. I have my acrylic block here. I'm only gluing the center. Whoops. And then I'm going to offset this like that. So you see the bottom petals through the top. I'm going to hold on to, because they will slide. The vellum is very slick. And so I have this acrylic block there to kind of lay it on there and put pressure on it. Fabri-Tac will be permanent, but it takes but about 20 minutes for it to even set up well. Now I'm going to put that on there just to hold it temporarily, and I'm going to put that back upright. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, I'm going to put some ribbon in the top here. Now I do have some of that ribbon that is the 1/8 inch ribbon that is just white, but I can't find it. A whole row. So I am going to be using this, which has a silver border on it, and that suits me just fine. Put it through the top, through the back, and then we're going to tie that in a knot here. We're doing it a square knot, so left over right, right over left. Trim those down or leave them long, however you want. So in our challenge on, or our theme on the Paperclip Art Group, we have a new one every month. We encourage you to come along and play along with us. So while that's setting also, another thing that you could do, on this one I just put dots right here on the edge, but I've also taken the paint pen, works really well, but this is a really broad one, and I've made stitch lines down the top. So with these, you have to shake it very well. I know I have a Posca paint pen in white with a smaller tip, and I cannot find it either. So I like to use a solid paper so I could tell when it's really mixed. So if it all absorbs in and I don't see any white, it just turns solid clear, then I know it's not quite mixed well enough. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and just draw lightly, like some stitch lines down the front. And this will take a while to dry. Anything on the vellum takes a while to dry. I'm going to set this aside. Now, while that's drying, while the two things are drying, I want to mention also on this one, I gave it a mist with Imagine's Sheer Shimmer Sparkle Craft Spray, and it held up really well too. It's very sparkly. And while this is drying, I will show you the other ones that I did, because I wondered what would happen if I added some color. I used colored pencil. Isn't that pretty? It really did blend well. Okay, and then I did another one with alcohol markers, and these are the Olo markers. And a tip in using the Olo or any alcohol marker is, again, I said the vellum stays wet a long time. So what I noticed, it's too easy to blend, if that makes sense, because it stays like a pool of ink on top of the paper. So it just takes, it's a slower reaction here. It ends up looking like watercolor if you look at those leaves. So those were really fun. Let's come in and finish this off. So all we need to do is turn this over and get our leaves attached. Oh, it's so beautiful. It really has kind of a wedding vibe. It's so elegant. Now, only glue, basically the stems of these leaves. Oh, you know what? I glued the wrong side, but that's going to be okay because you can still see that white gel pen from the front as well. I mean, from the back. So now that that's there, now I can glue the whole thing. I'm just leaving the tips of the leaves because they might end up over the edge of my paper clip. Flip this over and figure out where I want that. Put it under there, and there we have it. Make sure you burp your glue bottle always before you put your lid on. Okay, now let's put these here in a row so you can see how pretty. And what am I doing for the centers? Now you can use whatever coloring method you're using, but what I've been doing is taking this, which is some trim. It's flat, and I really wanted to put like a pearl on there. The issue with that is that it's too thick, and if this is inside of a book, then that would cause me problems having it so thick. And this is flat. I could just put that right in the center of the flower, which I did here. With these two, I glued them on, and then I added diamond stickles, and I just spread it kind of flat. I colored them with, this one I colored with alcohol markers first. my jewel picker tool, and there we are done. So again, if I wanted to take a sheer shimmer to it, any kind of shimmery spray, make sure you mix it well, and when you spray it, hold it vertically, don't hold it down like this. And then it will create a mist that falls onto your project and creates an even tone to it. I think you're going to enjoy working with the vellum. It die cut very well. These are so cute. Thank you for coming along on this journey and crafting with me. Make sure you look at those links down below, and I'm also going to give you a link to our group on Facebook. We hope you can come join us there. We do require that you've been on Facebook at least a year. Thank you, everyone, for crafting with me.